We're back in the kitchen with Chef Jon-Paul Hutchins from Le Cordon Bleu College of Culinary Arts, Jeff Goodman from Expect More, and we're also with my little friend Josh, who's 8.5, and we're learning how to cook in the kitchen, right? We're going to learn some math. Now, what's your best subject in school?
Science.
Science, okay. So he's our little mini Sid the Science Kid. Well, not so mini, actually. He's almost as tall as me, if I take my heels off. But we're talking about a recipe, Chef, that really is going to incorporate some teaching components and some teachable moments, because it is in partnership, of course, with Expect More Arizona, where we can really start thinking out of the box, literally.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about some ways you can learn as you cook together, and there's even as the kids get older and more advanced in their learning, there's all kinds of stuff that you can incorporate. Some pretty significant math and science, which I think Chef's going to talk to us about.
Well, I mean, just simple things like doing a half a recipe or doubling a recipe is math, but it's fundamental. It's right in front of you. I mean, you can see that you're going to take a quantity and double it. And you can go all the way down the list, and it makes you really good at things like measurement. So do me a favor, can you just grab the measuring cup and the measuring spoons over there? So little things like, you know, just pull out a box of salt or pull out some flour and have them count off. How many tablespoons does it take to fill a cup?
Oh, okay.
Just something like that. And it doesn't really matter so much that it's tablespoons and cups, but that the mind is doing those gymnastics and it's getting used to solving those problems. And we were discussing that earlier. I mean, that's really what math is about. It's not about finding the answer. It's about teaching your brain how to figure things out.
You know, I think sometimes we get, even as adults, we get so into patterns. So when you talked about like doubling a recipe, if since this is kind of the circle of trust and truth.
I think it is. Yeah, I feel that. Do you feel
feeling
that, Josh?
You feel,
Yeah,
you're in the
he
circle.
did.
Don't
He definitely
violate
felt
it.
that.
I go down a recipe, and instead of doubling, I'll go and I'll do it twice. Like I'll go through the.
Why not? But
because my mind doesn't want to go.
But you know what though? But that is a fundamental application of math.
Right.
All right. Just because you're not writing down math, you've trained your brain
No, I
to
physically
double.
go down. Like I'll
Right,
if I have
but
3/4 rather than adding it, I do it the easy way.
But that's the result of math, because you're going
Right.
to take a 3/4 cup and do it twice. That's still math.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of us kind of discount those things as not real math. But or give me an example. Fractions are crippling for most kids.
You're about to bubble over. Sorry.
Fractions are just crippling for most kids. But Josh, very quickly, can you separate an egg into sixths for me?
Yes.
Well, what do you know? Josh just did math. All right. But see, something like now, so 3 of these would equal a half.
Are we certain that it's something he's going to eat?
I don't know, but I thought the goat cheese thing was brilliant. So let's just keep forcing stuff into him.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But this is something that we're using at home anyway, but we don't see it as math. Just like your example of doubling the 3/4 cup. That's doubling. That's multiplying by 2. All right? So we cut this one into rounds. So once again, we've got geometry again. We've got shapes. We've got rounds. We've got wedges. We've got all this stuff going for us.
What's the recipe you're working on over there?
Actually, it's not a recipe. We're doing a little bit of science. So I love braised red cabbage. And typically, you peel away the outer leaves, which Josh did for me, tore them into small pieces, and we did a little experiment. And the experiment is with pigments. Okay, so what was this called? Cyanins. Thank you. I totally spaced that. Thank you, Josh. All right, he's got my back here. And what we discovered was when I put vinegar in water and I cook anthocyanins, they turn amazingly red. Okay? So this is a physical science right now. Okay? So there's my uncooked and there's my cooked. Now look what happens when I cook them in an alkaline. So this is the same red cabbage, and it's cooked with baking soda, which is an alkaline. All right? So I can talk about acids and alkalines and pH and stuff like that to a kid in school, but this is a physical example, and it's stuff you have at home. This was just white vinegar and baking soda. Everybody's got that.
Did you know it could do that? I didn't either.
But that's pretty cool, right? Do you think you will remember this for the rest of your life?
Yes.
Has your life been changed forever because of this?
Yes.
I think it has.
Because of me.
Yes.
But there's so many cool things you can do that are not toxic, that don't require a PhD, that are just in your kitchen, just around your house, that are examples of science, that are examples of math, geometry, things like that. We talked about before, over here we have a measuring cup, and we talked about before that this is, I have 4 ounces in here, and we need to make a pint, so he needs to add 12 more ounces. It's all written on the side. But every one of these cups comes with a metric system on the other side. So why not take advantage of that? I didn't grow up with a metric system. Most of us didn't. So we don't even pay attention to that. This next generation, why would I cut them off from that? I mean, it's right there.
Right, it's right.
I can learn it with them.
Well, let's kind of make a full circle moment here with Expect More Arizona and how you do partner with schools like this, with nonprofits.
A world-class education system right here in Arizona, and we partner with anyone we can. This is a movement for all Arizonans to get involved, to join the movement. You can sign up on our website at expectmorearizona.org. You can join our conversations we have on Facebook and Twitter, where we want everyone to get involved and say, hey, this is what I'm doing with my kids to help us learn. This is what I think we should do with education, and join in the conversation. We have an active blog where we tried Chef's watermelon salad earlier. We have the recipe on there for everyone who wants to go. I like the goat cheese. I like the whole salad.
Too.
Not an olive guy, but I'll try it. And you can go there. You can download the recipe. You can rewatch Josh and Chef doing the experiment there, and just get involved.
And get involved in really just the collaborative effort, I think, to raise the bar for kind of the standard of excellence in our kids' education, I think is just a no-brainer. And so we're glad to see that we've even branched out into some non-traditional ways of teaching our kids. Josh, a shout out to your school. Where do you go?
Cherokee Elementary.
Cherokee Elementary. They are the home of the Fighting
Chargers.
Chargers. Go Chargers!